What's good, y'all? It's Sarah. Back at it again with another video. Oh, that was the best. Oh. Back at it again with another video. Alright, okay, boom. So, this video is basically a story time of, y'all already know. This story time is about my recent breakup. So basically, as y'all know him as Sean. I know him as Sean and Janace. We was gonna do a video of how we met and stuff like that, but it's no need, you know what I'm saying? Cause we not together no more. So let's get right into it. Boom. Okay, so this is not like a first go round of me and him breaking up. Okay, we broke up. We in September. Me and Janace, we broke up in June of this year. We had got together in February after Valentine's Day, to be exact. But we were talking all last year. The reason we broke up the first time was because, like, let me see if I could remember. Okay, the reason we broke up the first time was because it was like we was just trying to like see where we was with like a lot of categories, see if we was compatible or things like that. So we broke up because of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't have to break up, but we did. Like, literally, like, I showed him probably more love than any other female would. You know what I'm saying? Because he shared stories with me with, like, he was like, oh, Tara, like, you the realest female I met. Like, the girls I talked to, they with me for my money, or, you know, they trying to, like, empty out my pockets and stuff like that. So, like, I just showed him, like, the realness. Like, I mean, how real can you get? But, yeah. Like, what? Bruh. I was with this man before he got a car. Like, before you got a car. I was with him before he got a car, bro. So, dang, okay, I'm trying to remember. So, I was with him before he got a car. And, when he was getting his car, I was there with him too. I was just like a real female with him. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we was both agreeing and trying to progress with the same things the first time around, okay? Like, I'm not gonna make him look bad, you know what I'm saying? Because that's not my character. But, like, you know, I learned things from him. And he learned things from me. And we learned things from each other. You feel what I'm saying? I never lied to Janace. But he done lied to me. Like, a couple of times. He done, you know, little feel, yeah. But, like, it was one lie where it was a girl calling his phone. And I'm just like, who is that? And the name came up. I'm not going to say no names because she's irrelevant. But the name came up. And I'm like, who is that? And then he was like, oh, that's my cousin or my sister. And I'm like, yo, sister, yo, cousin. I done met your sister. But I went along with it, you feel me? Because I wasn't trying to think negative towards the situation. But something just kept on telling me to ask him. So I asked him, I kept asking him. And one night we was sitting on my couch and he was like, no, she called. And I'm like, who is this girl? Like, every time she call, you never pick up. And remind y'all, every time she call, I see it. And the only reason if I don't see it, if he not around me. So, she called. He didn't answer. She called again. I told him to answer. He was like, I'm gonna call you back. So, you know, I just went to question him and I was like, who is she? You know? And then he was just like, he ain't say nothing. So I'm like, you need to get your life together right now. Or you need to get your truth together right now. Cause, boo-boo. Okay? So, he ended up telling me the truth. And he was just like, oh, like I asked him a question. I asked him a good question. Any female would ask this question. I was like, did you have any like relations with her? Not a relationship, but did you have relations with her? And he was like, he looked at me, he was like, he went to laughing. And then he was like, yeah, we flirted. Da 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 da. And then he told me that they had relations. So I was like, all this time you been lying to me, bro. Like, I didn't really make it a big deal at first, but I just kept repeating to him that I just want you to remember that you lied to me. You feel me? Like, you did this. So, when he first got his car, like when his car was straight out the lot, he drove it home. Probably like the next day, I went to go and see him and whatever. Took an Uber. My first time taking an Uber because I hate taking Ubers. I don't trust people. But I took the Uber and I was on FaceTime with him the whole time. Saw the car. We got in the car. We was talking. She called him again. I was about to punch him in the neck. I promise you. And he was holding my hands because he know when I get mad, I'll be ready to boop, 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 boop. Ooh. What's up? Oh, okay. But yeah. So, he called his brother, whatever. He was like, oh, my girlfriend's mad at me. Da, 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 da. So, squash that. And it was just crazy. You know, like, he just went to tripping. You feel me? Like, he just went to, like, when he got that car, it was like his normal brain was separated. You know what I'm saying? To stupidity. Yeah, so after that, he was tripping, you know, but I still stuck beside him and stuff like that because I was like, you know, we together, you know what I'm saying? I was back and forth from Miramar to Fort Lauderdale, from Fort Lauderdale to Miramar. I was back and forth to him. And I never did that with nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I was just showing him that, you know, like, I really care about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to use you and stuff like that. So the stimulus check passed. All of that passed. I ended up get me a job, because he ended up buying me a desktop, and I ended up getting me a job because I was like, babe, if you buy me this desktop, I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, and I could give it like 2 weeks. I promise you that I will go get me a job, like, to work from home. And kids, y'all not, y'all, probably like in almost 2 weeks, bruh, I got called to start working from home. And, he was already working because he was doing DoorDash. He was doing Instacart. Janae, he suffers from, like, because he got bad kidneys and stuff. So, he suffers from bad kidneys. So, he has dialysis, like, 3 days of the week. You know what I'm saying? But, in his brain is like, if I die, I die. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't care. Like, he don't care about his health. He don't care. Like, he don't care about nothing. Period. Like, he don't. Like, if he croak over right now, he won't care. He don't care. Like, and he'll go to treatment sometimes, and sometimes he won't. And when we first got together, for real, like, I used to, like, get on him about that. I'm like, bro, you need to go to treatment. What you doing? Like, you gonna die. Go to treatment. What's wrong with going to treatment? Go to treatment. So you know what I'm saying? You could start your process to get a new kidney, to do all that. That was the thing of why you got the car. You get what I'm saying? So he didn't listen, He did his own thing, so I stepped back from that. So, we decided to combine in the same space together. And when I mean combining in the same space, I mean he come to my house. Because I ain't gonna flex, bro. I stay in a garage. But my garage is the ish. Okay? You see that TV. Don't play. And this couch. And this bed. And this refrigerator. And this dining room table. You see it. You see it. No, I like you don't. I know you looking in the camera. And I know you see it. But anyway, so we combined, and he was like, in his mind, he's I don't know what kind of university he's on, but he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna give myself a little 30-day trial to see how I like it or whatever. And I said, cool. And after that 30-day trial, I was like, it's time for you to pay rent. It's time for you to help me pay rent now. And he was like, first he was with it, you know what I'm saying? Because he was doing DoorDash and Instacart. Plus, he get paid every month from the government. And he gets a lump sum. He get a lot. So, I mean, you can help your girl out instead of just, like, watching her do everything by herself. You can help her out. So at first he was with it, but then I seen him getting agitated and frustrated and doing the typical ninja thing. I'ma say ninja, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, alright. So, like, we start getting into arguments. One night in the middle of the night, I found him sleeping in his car. Like, it was just some weird stuff going on. So, fast forward, when we broke up the first time, like, I kid y'all not, bruh, I was waking up to get ready, to get prepared to start working on my computer. And he got, like, he woke up and I was like, you driving to, like, treatment today? And he was like, might as well. And I was like, all right. And I was like, you know, safe travels, be careful. And I left him like that. So when he left, I did text him. I said, let me know when you get to the center. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me know. And then he was like, I think he said okay, but he never texted me. But I know I texted him, though. So it was around like 3-ish o'clock-ish. And he texted me, he was like, what is a collision? And I'm like, a collision. So I was pacing back and forth, and I was like, what is a collision? And I know they got something to do with a car. So, yo, this man got in an accident coming back from treatment. He knows that he don't supposed to drive when he's done with treatment, because he know that makes him it drains him. So he don't supposed to drive. And his whole front of his car was damaged. The whole hood of that thing was gone. The whole car had to be totaled, bruh. And he went to the hospital. And I kept calling him, and he finally answered. And I was on FaceTime, and I was like, I'm not finna leave this phone until you tell me what's going on. What happened? And he told me what happened. He said, I don't know. I guess his vision wasn't clear. The sun was too bright, and he was already drained. He didn't eat. I offered, my job, before he left here, I offered him a shake so it could hold him until he get back. He did not. He wasn't feeling it. And, you know, it caused him to get in an accident. So he was upset. And, you know, he didn't even tell the people that he had bad kidneys. He didn't even tell the people that he was on dialysis. I'm like, you need to tell these people that, because if you don't, they don't know nothing. They just going by what you telling them. Like, you need to open your mouth. And he was like, oh, I'm going to tell him. And the nurse, she heard me say that he was on dialysis. And she was like, oh, so you on dialysis? And he was like, yeah. He was like, I got bad kidneys. And then she asked me, you know, like, why didn't you tell us? Or whatever. So that was on him. And I was like, well, you need to call your mom and let your mom know that you got in a car accident. Or let me call your mom and let me tell her, and she could probably come to the hospital with you. Or whatever. He didn't want that. That ninja did not want that. He was all on his own. He wanted to be all on his own. It was too much for him to process. I called him back. He was crying. I was like, Janae, do not cry. You're going to be okay. You're not dead. Okay, you probably got a little fractured, little bones, but you ain't dead. You okay. So, fast forward to that, everything just went down from there with me and him. You know what I'm saying? I ended up, like in April, I caught my first panic attack, anxiety attack, you could call it. I was at a friend's house at a barbecue, and oh my God, you guys, it was just, oh my God, it was, I felt like I was gonna die. I really did, because we was like chilling, you know, drinking wine, talking. It was me, Janae, and her son, and they was barbecuing, and oh my God. And I remember that I didn't really eat nothing that day. Like, I took a bite of a donut, and Janae's had bought us like some big Red Bulls, like the big cans of Red Bulls. Both of us. He bought like 4 cans of them things. And then we turned around and we got some coffee. And like only had one bite of donut. So when I started drinking the wine, and I guess it was really hot where I was, like my heart just started beating really, 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 really fast. And my lips turned cold. And I looked to my right, and I looked to my left, and I'm like, oh my God, is it the last time I'm gonna see Earth? Like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it that I was going through that. And I was already depressed over a situation. So that happened to me, and it was just crazy. So fast forward, that's another story time, but fast forward, so when I told Janae, when he got from the hospital, I told him, I said, make sure you call me. Make sure you call me, and my nurse will come get you if it's not too late. If it's too late, call me and I'll send you an Uber. He did not call me. He did not call me. He did not call me. I didn't get no call from him. He ended up going to some girl house, and he just went to like playing these little games with me. I'm like, come home. We could fix this. Like, we could talk about it. You need to come home. Like, and it was like a game with him. Like, we was on FaceTime like this, and when I say something, he'll put me on mute, and I could hear him like turning to the side and talking to somebody. Like, that's disrespectful to me. But I was like, whatever, like, whatever. I was like, whatever. So when he ended up finally wanting to come back, he came back on crutches, and he was telling me what the doctor was saying. Then he had to deal with his car situation and stuff like that. And I don't know, it's just things change. And I was like, I think we need to separate. I think we need to either separate, or we break up, or we talk about this. And I just feel like he is not narcissistic, you know, but he is very smart, and it's to the point where he can manipulate you. And I felt like he was manipulating me, because we broke up. We had a little breakup one time, and it was before he got in his little accident, and we broke up, and I didn't see him till the next day. And then he came to my house when I got off work, and we talked, and I guess we got back together, and everything was okay. But he is very manipulative. I know that. He is a liar. I know that. And that's how I won't get back with him. Because he's a liar. You feel me? And he's a liar when I'm not around. You know what I'm saying? So once he finalized that we broke up the first time, for real, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do me. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, it's okay. Like, go about your business. I'm gonna go about mine. So he told his mama that I cheated on him when he went into his accident. And I'm like, I'm on FaceTime. I'm like, Janae, so I cheated on you when you was in your accident? Or I was working. And I'm like, why would you tell your mama that? Like, you stupid boy. Why would you tell her that? And I don't know, bro. Like, he told his mama a lot of stuff. He told his mama that I tried to use him and everything. And this lady is literally, like, kind of arguing with me over the phone, saying, oh, Janae's don't pay rent. Da-da-da-da. He used to pay rent. He don't pay rent no more. My son is fine. Da-da-da-da. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I'm not finna argue with you. It was to the point, y'all, where, like, both of them was talking to me to the point where I lashed out. And I was talking, and I felt like I shouldn't have to explain myself to two grown people, and especially your mama. Because I'm with you. I'm laying up with you. I'm not laying up with your mom. So for me to, like, tell my whole life story and cry at the same time, like, that shut it both of them up. Period. And he couldn't do nothing but look at me with a dumb look. He was just like, I was like, yeah, yeah. I don't gotta, like, I ain't explaining myself to you. So even though we broke up the first time, like, I gave myself a little break, but I still called him and checked on him and stuff like that, and see if he ate and stuff like that. I still did that. And I did that from probably like a couple weeks after we really broke up to like July, I could say. So this time around, when we got back together, like, he was like coming by, calling me, and pulling up at my house and all of this stuff. And I was like, so what's up? Because in my brain, I'm like, bro, like, ain't we done? Like, you feel me? Like, we done. Like, why are we talking? Like, you know, like, let's not do this. We done. But he was telling me that he couldn't live without me. He was in love with me and all this stuff. And I was like, you know, he kind of pulled me, and I was like, okay. So we agreed to, like, you know, take it slow and do it right. So we was together, and as y'all know, he got me a ring on August the 13th of 2020. No, 2021. I'm sorry. 2021, he got me a ring of August the 13th. And, you know, it was a promise ring / engagement ring. And we was really going up from there. And as y'all know, that we did one video one night on TikTok together. We did a couple, and it just went sky high. Like, it went fly rocket from there. Like, we went viral. So after that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay. So after that, I thought everything was going good with us, you know? And then we ended up kind of moving back in together. And then, you know, it was just crazy. Like, he said that he changed, but he kind of really didn't. And it's like, he knows that. That's where the manipulative comes from. So, like, I just, like, when we broke up recently, and this will be the last time we break up, because I am not finna put myself through no more heartbreak again. And I mean that. And this video is raw and uncut. And I'm not editing nothing because I'm still learning how to. But I'm just saying, I'm going to buy myself a promise ring. And I'm going to promise myself not to go through none of this again from nobody. Okay, so recently when we broke up, it all started when we woke up that morning. And I asked him, I said, so, you know, like, why did you make us sleep not in the AC? You know, and when I was talking to him, he already had, like, hostile attitude with me anyway. So I'm like, why you made us sleep with no AC? Why you ain't getting in the bed? And then he was like, oh, I didn't feel comfortable. And then that's when he was like, oh, you should have asked me to put on the AC for you. But I'm like, why should I have to ask you to put on the AC for me when you know how my body is already when it comes to heat? That I can't stay in heat for a long period of time. Like, my body just go to sweating. And then I'm like, you know this, because, like, you be sitting up here rubbing on my body. And you be like, babe, you hot, you sweating. And I'll be like, yeah, but you can just turn on the AC or turn on the fan, whatever you prefer. And he was just like, oh, you should have asked me. But it was just a lot of attitude. And I was like, well, I'll just, you feel me? If you don't feel comfortable sleeping in the bed with me, I get the couch comfortable for you to sleep on. And then he was like, oh, Tara, what you talking about? I'm like, it's not what I'm talking about. It's what's gonna happen. Because you're not finna lay in this bed if you don't feel comfortable. So until you feel comfortable, you can sleep on the couch. And I clear it off for you, clean it off for you, put a sheet on there, give you a blanket, give you a pillow, and when you feel comfortable, you get back in the bed. And then he was just like, oh, well, I'm not agreeing to that. And I'm like, okay. So when he left that day, I was just thinking in my head, I was like, you know what, bro? Like, something gotta give. You feel me? Like, y'all gotta, like, I was like, nah, bro. Something gotta give for real. Like, he was tripping hard. You know? Like, I was thinking about it so hard. And I'm like, when he left me, I was thinking about it. And I was like, you know, I've been going through it for some weeks now. And I'm just asking you, like, even though they put me on a job. Like, what if I want to find a better job? You know what I'm saying? Because I like to work. What if I want to find me a better job? And I'm like, can you just take up the rent for me? And I'll continue to make sure food is in the house. I cook and I'll make sure the place is clean for you. You could just pay our rent until, you know, I get back on my feet. Kind of. And sometimes I'll even, you know, split it with you. Because I'm going to still be working at the same time while I'm still trying to find me a better job. And then he told me, he straight up said, I don't know if I could do that. And I'm like, what you mean you don't know if you could do that? And he was like, I don't know if I could, like, you know, I don't know if I can help you with that or whatever. And then he was like, what's the plan? I'm like, what you mean, what's the plan? You know the plan already. Like, I just told you. And then he was like, well, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know. And it was, for him, it was like very nonchalant. And I already told him to his face that he's very spoiled. His mama cradled him when he was a baby. He's spoiled. Like, and he talked like he's spoiled. And he was like, oh, unlike you, I wouldn't put myself in no predicament like that. Like, basically, I have nothing. Like, he has nothing to worry about. So, and I was like, well, you don't know how it feels to make sacrifices. Because you never had to make any. You never had to make no real sacrifices like I did. See, you got family and stuff like that. I don't have no family. I don't have nobody. You know that. You know where I come from. I have myself. Literally, I do things for myself. And yes, I do have a nurse, but all she do is take me a shower and get me dressed if I have to go somewhere. And if I need her to clean up my place for me, she'll do it. But if I want to clean it up, I don't even need her like that. But that's the only help that I have. But the other real stuff is down to Atira. Atira does everything. Pay the bills, make sure food in the house. I make sure everything is good in here. If anything is broken in here, I replace it. I do everything for myself. And I've been to myself since 2016 when I got out of the situation I was in with my family. Because I came from a broken home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I came from a broken, negative home. Dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So, for you to look at me like that and say that to my face, I don't deserve that. Because as your girl, you should be like, yeah, Vayla, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't hesitate if I was like, I told him, I said, if the shoe was on the other foot and you asked me to do that, I would have did that with no problem. You feel me? I wouldn't say, I don't know. I'll make it happen for both of us until you get back on your feet. But he didn't understand it. So, he was like, he don't know. It set me off. And I'm just like, I'm really like, just done with this. Like, because I'm so sick of people giving me half of, like, the other, you know what I'm saying, half of a spoon. Like, don't half spoon feed me. Give me the whole spoon. You know what I'm saying? Especially if, like, if you my boyfriend, whatever. Give me the whole spoon. And things went left. When I say things went left, I was like telling him to get out. No, first, before I even said that, I put it in there. I said, you know, we don't even got to break up. But just go to your mom's house and I could see you on weekends. While I'm getting my money through the week, I see you on weekends. And he was like, oh, no, I don't do the weekend stuff. But I'm like, well, what you mean you don't do the weekend stuff? I don't want you in my face while I'm working. You feel me? Because he'll lay here, he'll sleep, and he will snore loud. You feel what I'm saying? He won't do nothing for the rest of the day. And then as soon as he get up, it's like, I'm so tired. And I'm like, you just got up from sleeping. You sleep more than me. And I'm like, I don't want to see that, bro. Like, I don't want to see that. You need to get up and go sit in the sun or something. Go do something productive. So, he was like, when I told him something about sleeping, he was like, So, things went left, like I said. And he was like, oh, you know what? Well, I'm finna go. I'm finna leave. So, he started, like, unplugging his game, packing his clothes and stuff. And then he tried to open my refrigerator. And he tried to take grocery out of my refrigerator that I had to rebuy. I had to rebuy these things, and I showed him receipt. He had, like, he didn't see the receipt, and I showed him a receipt. Because my account went into the negative from buying the groceries from my real money until my food stamps came on. He offered to give me money to buy the groceries. I took that money that he offered me, and I still went into the negative because after I wrote out the grocery list and before I pressed the delivery button to let it be delivered, he took out half of the things that I wanted and he kept the things that he wanted. So I still went into the negative. Okay. Boom. So my account was in a negative $68 or $65 if I'm not mistaken. And I had that exact money in my wallet, but it was cash. So I told him, like, no female would ever do this, bruh. The savings that I had in my wallet, I gave it to him. And instead of him doing what I told him to do, he just was like, I'm going to pocket this. This going to be mine. And I'm going to just send you, I'm going to just cover that negative in your account. And I'm like, why couldn't you just do what I said to do? And he was like, no, it's easier to do it that way. And I was like, fine, okay. But still, y'all, that was kind of my savings because I never touched that money in my wallet. You know, that money in my wallet was for emergencies only. So he took it and he pocketed and he covered the thing. So like I said, he tried to go in the refrigerator and he tried to take this stuff out the refrigerator, and I fought him. I did. I ran up on him with my wheelchair. I ain't gonna even lie. I was like, boy, if you don't get out my refrigerator with that bull, for real, get out my refrigerator. Straight up, get out my refrigerator with it. I was making him so tired that he said, bump it. He said, bump it. And he left everything on the floor. And he got all his stuff. And words was said to me. He put me on camera first. And he was like, and everything was everywhere. You know, like food and stuff was on the floor. And he pulled out his phone. And he was like, oh, this what you got to go through. This what you have to go through when you dealing with basic females. And I'm like, I'm basic? And he was like, yeah, you basic. I was like, that's crazy. Because this whole time, Brody, You was hollering about how I was making your life so easy for you and all of that stuff. Even when your car broke down because he ended up, excuse me, he ended up getting him a car and it broke down. And I offered to help him get it repaired and stuff, but he was like, no. And I made sure that I offered that all day, and he was just like, no. So I just did whatever I needed to do with my money. I paid whatever bills I needed to pay with my money. So instead of him wanting me to do that, he wanted me to buy something for his camera. And I was like, that's crazy. But besides that, he did that. He called me basic. He said his trolls did more for me. No, did more for him than I could do for him. He was like, they have careers and everything. And I'm like, that's fine. Why don't you go live off of them? Why don't you go live off of them? You're not going to live off of me, bro. Like, you sitting on money. You feel what I'm saying? So, for you to just be like that when it comes to reality stuff, and when your future fiance is asking you for a favor like that, you shouldn't even second question yourself. You should have been like, okay, babe, cool. Like, we could do it until you get back right. Knowing that you seen me go through what I went through for these past weeks. So for you to do that to me, that's spiteful. He said those words to me. He was like, oh, at least I got a mama that love me. At least I got a mama that wanted be there for me, see about me, just being spiteful. And I was like, I don't care. You know, I did hit below the belt. I was like, that's why your daddy dead. I told him just like that. I was like, that's why your daddy dead. You ain't had no daddy growing up. Since you want to hit below the belt. Because people think they could just walk into my life and hurt me and then walk out the door and think I'm not going to do nothing. No, I'm finna be like a hurricane before you leave me. You're going to pay for whatever you done to me. The mouth that I have will hurt you and break your heart into pieces. I don't even gotta put my hands on you. The mouth that I have will hurt you alone. So don't even go there with me. So he was like, oh, I ain't got time for this stuff. He threw me my key. He threw it to me like I'm just some piece of trash. And I'm like, that's crazy. And you say you in love with somebody? You in love with somebody and you do that? My friend was just telling me, she was like, Tara, how he gonna put y'all on TikTok and do all that stuff? How he gonna do all that stuff and then just get crazy and wanna leave? And y'all supposed to be doing that thing together. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all want careers and stuff like that. Y'all want to live a better life and things like that. But he just don't care. He's very he's very comfortable with where he is. And I was just trying to get him out of there. I was like, you don't gotta wait on the government to pay you. You could go get you a job. You don't have to get you a full-time job. You could get you a part-time job. You know what I'm saying? You can make you some money so you won't be broke. You know what I'm saying? After you get paid, you could still look forward into money of every week or every 2 weeks. So I was just like, you know, when you put a ring when you put a ring on somebody's finger, you're committing to that person, okay? Any promises that you making, you keeping them promises because that's what you said before you put the ring on. You know what I'm saying? He said that he was going to stop vaping. He didn't stop vaping. He said, you know what I'm saying? Just certain promises he didn't keep up with. And I was just like, so why should I wear the ring? Or why would you want to be engaged with me? You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, it's whatever, bro. Like, whatever. Whatever. I was like, you don't know how it feels to come from nothing and to still be able to be strong and still do what you have to do for yourself. Because, like, when people leave my life, they just think, oh, Tara, she gonna need me, da-da-da-da-da. Anybody that left my life, they call me first. Because they know that I'm not gonna need them. Because they know I've been doing this since 2016. I've been on my own for a while. I don't need nobody, no family call me. My mom don't come and see me. My mama don't do nothing for me. My family don't do nothing for me. I do for me. Everything that's in this garage space that's in here, I purchased. I work hard. I'm not even on Social Security no more. I got a job and they took me off. When I called and told them I got a job, they told me it's either you quit the job or you keep the job. And you don't receive the payments no more from Social Security. And I was like, I'm going to keep my job. It's that. That's just how I am. And that's just how it is. And Janae knows that. So for him to do all this to me, it was ridiculous. Like, I was so mad to the point where I ended up buying him some iPhone headphones. And, like, this was recent, too. So, I wrapped them around my hand and I was finna pull them apart. I was finna break them in half. And he literally was finna he grabbed my phone. He grabbed my computer that I work from home with, that I get money with. And he grabbed my headphones that I also use for work. And he was threatening to break them. So I unwrapped these headphones and I gave it back to him. And I said, put my stuff down. Walk out my door. Do not call me. Do not come to my house. Do not do nothing. You stay over there where you at. Period. That's on you. I'm not doing this with you no more. It's done. I gave you this was like your second chance. And you wasn't even supposed to get one. You know? Because you know where I came from. You know I came from a narcissistic, abusive relationship. So for you to do me like that, that's crazy. And you're no longer available to be in my life anymore. And that's a fact. And I'm going to buy a ring for myself. And it's going to be a promise ring. I'm going to write a letter to myself. I'm going to buy the ring. I'm going to read the letter out loud to myself. And I'm going to place it on my finger. And that's going to be all the promises that I made to myself. That I would never let another man come in my life and just try to break me down in any type of way. And lie on me. Like one of my other friends had called him because she had came and seen me. And she called him on the phone and she was like, oh, Janae, why you not here? Da, 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 da. And he was on the phone straight lying to her, telling her, oh, Tara don't want to communicate with me. Da, 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 da. I was like, that's crazy. So I remind y'all, when we broke up and all that happened that day, with him throwing everything out of my refrigerator and stuff, I called him that night around like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't sleep. I was cleaning up, listening to music, and just thinking things through. And I was like, you know, let me call him to see if he's really for real. Because, like, you don't know what you just did. You just put the whole world in our business. Like, not even in our business, but you put our relationship out there. And for you to just vanish like that, that's crazy. Do you know how many people I dodged because of you? I was trying to show you a lot of, like, trying to teach you a lot more things. Like, trying to show you independence. More independence. Trying to do all of that. And it's like a spit in the face. And I just felt like you couldn't meet me halfway. So, you know what I'm saying? You made the easy way out. So, I called him that night. And the same night we argued and broke up, I called him 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, you know, I was like seeing where his head was. And then he was just like, oh, Tara, I was just asking him what was his problem. And he was like, oh, you just think about yourself. You're selfish. This and this and this. And I was like, Janae, you're lying. I'm not selfish. Everything in this relationship, I have split 50-50 with you. I have proof. I have receipts. I have everything in the book for you, bro. Like, I split everything with you when it came to you. Sometimes I even gave you everything with no hesitation. So how you gonna tell me I'm selfish? He was like, oh, you was talking about your rent, da 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 da, but you never talked about getting my car fixed. And I'm like, when I wanted to get your car fixed, you did not want me to help you. And I was like, you never know what could have happened if you would have said, okay, Tara, I'll take up the rent and you just do the rest. You finish working, find you another job. You do what you normally do for us. And I was gonna, like, the check that just, like, my paycheck from my job that just passed, I was planning on giving it to him because it was enough for him to go get his car fixed. I was going to give it to him. I was going to sacrifice that check and give it to him. So you can't say that I'm selfish or nothing, because I'm not. I'm not selfish. I'm not. And he was like, oh, every time he go, oh yeah, I gotta help the needy. So when he say the needy, he mean me. Like, what you helping me with? I do everything. So what you mean? What are you helping me with? You sleep and you, like, what are you helping me with? Everything that's going on around here, I'm keeping it on. You're not. So, for him to just do that to me, it was crazy. But I'm going to end off this video because that's everything that happened. And I made sure I left nothing out. And Janae, if you run across this video, just know that you will never get availability in my life anymore. And I mean everything. I mean every word. In, like, what's coming out my mouth, you will never get availability in my life no more. So you can lie. You can tell your story. You can do all that because I took a lot from you. I took a lot from you. And for you to not acknowledge that, that's cruel. And for you to know where I came from, that's even crueler. So I just want you to know, and everybody else that run across this video, that you will never get a chance with me anymore. Period. And I'm going to stay true to myself. And I'm going to stay true to God. And I'm going to continue to live my life. And I don't care anymore. I mean that. Because my heart, it just can't take no more. So I'm letting you know, and everybody else know. So you guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, you like, you comment. You could comment your opinions about everything that I just said. Just comment your opinions about it. I'm here to listen and take notes and things like that. So just make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure y'all turn on that notification bell for your girl, because I got some more content for y'all. And you know, just live life, peace. I'm all about peace and sanity and things like that, because I already go through mental stages and I already stressed myself out enough. So I don't need no more stress. I just need happiness from here on out. And I promise you. So y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your comments down below. And I want to know what y'all think about this video. Let me know what y'all think about it. I really want to hear all of y'all like opinions about it, because this was a long video. It just turned into a 1 hour video. So y'all make sure y'all, you know, leave them comments, girl. Okay, and I love my fans. I love my supporters. So I love all of you who support me, who took me in virtually. I love it. 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 Trouble love you too. But he's... Wait, hold on. Let me see. Hi. Hi, boo. Trouble. Hi. Hi, me. Hi. Don't eat your toes. What are you doing? Anyways, subscribe, like, comment, turn your notification bells on. Love you guys. And hold on, let me get close to the camera. You know, this is my cut. My cut side right here. Hold on. Not exactly right now. Hold on. Oh, damn. I love y'all, bro. Good night. Bye. For real. I'm finna go. So I'm finna do a little editing that I know how to do. Post it and make sure y'all comment, bro. And make sure y'all subscribe, bro. And make sure y'all tell a friend, and tell your grandma too, bro. Tell your grandma, your granddaddy, your auntie, and your mammy. Tell your mammy too. Don't forget this. My lashes. Little kids be on the phone like, do you eat hot Cheetos? Cause my mama and daddy, they buy me hot Cheetos all the time. When I go to school, they put it in my bag. But yeah, I get it, y'all. Peace, love, and happiness. You know what I'm saying? Love whoever wants to love on you. Okay? And don't let nobody break your joy. Please. I just want to be inspiration to anybody and everybody, and especially with the people with disabilities, because I have one. But like, comment, subscribe. All right. Love you, babies. Bye.